Hello and welcome to the OK Takes podcast. I am Matt, and as always, I'm joined by my fellow couple, Edward. As of 7:51 p.m. West Coast time, look, we thought it could not get worse. We really didn't. And here we are after blowing a horrible lead, a disgusting game. I feel like I've used the word disgusting in a lot of these intros, but that's what the Lakers have been. Disgusting. We're now 17-9. All right, so we're going to get into the loss from the Grizzlies, and then we're going to address some of the other topics like let Russ be Russ, a little bit on the Christmas Day shit show, LeBron moving to the 5. Yeah. All right, let's start with the last possession. That was really sad. So I'll let you take it away from here.
Yeah, to be in that situation and not even get a shot off is like horrific. Like, in that situation, the worst possible outcome is not getting a shot. Like, I don't care if LeBron's triple teamed with his back to the basket. I would rather have him hurl it up than not shoot at all. And I mean, it ended up in a turnover. It was really good defense. Credit to the Grizzlies, but still, the Lakers have got to find a way to get a shot up in that situation. Down by 3 with what? I think 12 seconds left, 14 seconds left, something like that. They don't even get a shot up to tie the game, and just really poor, really poor.
Yeah, Malik Monk short-circuited. He had it's one of those weird things, I think, where they've been going to LeBron so much that's where you thought the ball should end up. But in reality, you did have Westbrook in the corner. Now, everybody says Westbrook is garbage when it comes to shooting. Some of that is valid. But Westbrook is actually like 40% plus from the corner this season. And that's where the ball should have ended up. And I like that. Like, that's a somewhat of a solid shot to get. End of the game. We've seen a lot worse shots. Oh my God. And can you remember the game against the Heat? And then oh my God. Do you remember that way back when? So we've seen some really bad play, like last possession plays. And it comes back to bite us once again.
Yeah. And I mean, very seldom throughout LeBron's career would you ever say, I want LeBron taking a 3 with the game on the line. But he tied his career high in threes tonight. He was 8 for 14 from 3. Recently in his career, he's become a much better 3-point shooter. So I would have done everything in my power to get LeBron open to take that 3 to tie the game, because he was nailing them tonight.
Well, like, I'm pretty okay with using Braun as a stool pigeon just so we get somebody else freed open. And that was the thing. Westbrook was that guy we had open to hit it. And yes, Westbrook struggled today. I mean, he was a little bit better, still had 6 turnovers and really bad boneheaded errors. But that was the play that we had. And I will just die on that hill forever, is that Westbrook was open in the corner. That's a good shot for him. He's excelled at that shot.
We've seen him hit. Like, there's a game, I think it is
the Reeves game winner.
Well, I mean, for Russ, I think it was against the Mavericks back when he was on the Thunder. He had a look in the corner and he hit a 3. And I can think of like the game against the Nuggets where he set the triple double. So we've seen Westbrook hit big shots. Like, when you're a big time player like that, it doesn't matter your statistics late in the game. If you're clutch, you're clutch. And we've seen Russell Westbrook be clutch. And yeah, I think that would have been I would have been more than okay with dying by an open 3 from Russ.
I would take an open 3 than an open dunk from Russ. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Russell Westbrook versus the rim has been an interesting subplot this season that I did not see coming.
Dude, I think he's lost a little bounce.
Oh yeah. I mean, that comes with being what is he, 34?
33, 32.
Something like that.
Yeah. But yeah,
he's 33. Yeah, 33.
But the worst part is that it's starting to become a growing trend. Now, this isn't one thing that happened and everybody knows about it because it happened on Christmas primetime. Everybody was watching. So we'll always remember what happened the last second there. But it happened down the stretch within the final minutes today. And then also happened against the Rockets where he slammed one back and it nearly hit the top of the arena.
Yeah. If it happens every now and then, it's like, okay, it's just a outlier, nothing to worry about. But the fact that it's been happening over and over again in very important times too is like, okay, maybe maybe stop.
Well, it's hard to say to tell a guy stop taking dunks.
I
But
mean, yeah, but like he's just clearly doesn't have that same spring in his step. So maybe don't go for some crazy athletic dunks. Just take them when they're wide open.
or honestly, just turn them into layups.
Or turn them into layups. Yeah. Although he
Because
missed a layup tonight. He missed multiple layups tonight. Late in the game, too.
So I guess we're gonna get into our Russ talk now. It's very scary what's happening with him because once again, everybody's going to go back to the Nets Christmas Day game because it was prime time. Everybody watched it. I can't emphasize that enough. But he had 11 shots missed in the restricted area, and he's literally in that. So in this entire season, he's been making way less from the restricted area. And that's what we've known Russ to be. We have known Russ to be the guy to fly from the free throw line like he's Michael Jordan and just make these crazy dunks, crazy plays that shake the entire arena. Everybody loves them. You'll see him on House of Highlights like 3 times a week. You could set your watch to it. But now those same plays aren't working out.
No, they're not there anymore. And it's disappointing. I think as soon as the Russ trade news came pouring in, my immediate thought was like, holy shit, we're going to have a guy who's going to just attack, bang out dunks left and right. And then you look at his age and it's like, maybe we shouldn't have expected that. I think when you've been playing in the NBA since you're 19, 20 and you're 33 now, you might lose a little spring.
Mm-hmm. I think it's very perfect that I don't think you guys could hear it, but it's starting to rain outside.
Oh, nice.
And that timing is spot on with Russ.
Nice. I wish it was raining. I love the rain. Nothing like rain after a tough loss.
No, I want Mother Nature to agree with how awful I am feeling. I want them to feel how low I am, to bring me to my knees. That's what the rain does. It makes me want to go in the fetal position.
Yeah, it's just perfect timing. You couldn't have written a script like that.
Yeah, so I also want to go back to I think you just touched on it, but when it comes to the outside noise and how that's supposed to motivate him, okay, this is where I get really frustrated with Westbrook. Because earlier this week, he was finally voicing his frustration with hearing how everybody's thinking that he should be dropping 25, 15, and 10, how he should be getting triple doubles. He's like, I can't do that anymore. And nobody who has a brain and an IQ above a doorknob is expecting Russ to get 25-point triple doubles every night.
No. And what he's been putting up is fine, honestly. Like, especially over his last 10 games, he's been good. 18 points per game, 7 assists, 8.5 rebounds. I'll take that from my point guard all year. Yeah. And right now he's averaging 28 and 8. So yeah, I don't expect him to be doing what he used to do in OKC or Houston. I expect him to be what he's been, honestly.
Yes. So that's what I'm saying, though, is that nobody's expecting him to do what he did in OKC. We're expecting him to put up the same amount of points and assists as he is now. I'm cool if it dips to like 18 to 19, but it's the fucking turnovers. It's the goddamn turnovers. They're an all-time high for his career. He's second in the NBA, and who knows, when Sunday comes around, he might surpass Harden. He was at 4.7 coming into the game against the Rockets, had a bunch 2 days ago against them. And then he also put up 6 in today's game. And a lot of them are just passes getting picked off. So it's a classic thing with Russ. Let Russ be Russ. Yes, I want you to be yourself, but just take away all the passes that gets picked off and all the balls that fly off the backboard.
Yeah, like I think Russ, he plays the game like 100 miles an hour with his hair on fire. Like, and I think sometimes that hurts him and he needs to really settle down and maybe stop forcing outlet passes that, like you said, get picked off. Or I don't know. I think he needs to just try and settle down a little more and be a little more cautious with the way he goes about it, because we've seen him cut his turnovers back. There was a stretch there where he had like maybe
November.
3. Yeah. He had like maybe 3 a game, and he was really starting to find a groove. And to see him take these steps back and regress again has been really disappointing.
Because he could say that people have unrealistic expectations. And true, the people, like I said before, who don't have an IQ above a doorknob, who are just a waste of space, idiots. Yes, those people are going to say, oh, you have to get 25, 15, and 15 if you to be considered good. No, we just don't want you to dribble the ball off your foot like you did last or 2 nights ago against the Rockets. That's what we don't want. There was literally a possession where he was just hum dribbling the ball up and dribbled it off his foot, just bringing it up court. That's that's like why we say, that's why we're so angry. We're not, and that's the thing that I think he might not be aware of is when fans criticize Russ, we're not saying you're lazy. No one has ever called Russ lazy.
No. One thing, if Russ is one thing, it's he's not lazy, you know. He's always energetic. He's always out there, like I said, going 100 miles an hour with his hair on fire, always trying to do everything he can. But sometimes we want him to just cool it, you know, just relax a little bit. Don't dribble the ball off your foot. Don't force outlet passes and just play smart. All we need from Russ is to just play smart.
And he has this really bad relation. I don't know. At times, I feel like a really bad relationship with the media because he's so goddamn polarizing. And players like that are going to sometimes probably hate the media, especially now with social media. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody has something to say. And you're going to see so much feedback. And with the way social media goes, it's probably going to be negative. So I feel horrible that he has to hear awful things that go beyond basketball. That sucks. I can't imagine what that must be like. But then he'll come back and say things like this. My game is not predicated upon if I miss and make shots. I do other things that impact the outcome of the game. Well, the game is predicated upon if you make shots. That's usually how basketball works. Ball goes in the hoop, you win.
Yeah. I mean, I get what he's trying to say because he's not necessarily known as a guy where, I don't know, because he's had seasons where he's won MVPs, where he scored 30 points a game. So, yeah, actually, I'm going to take back what I was going to say because, yeah, everyone's game is predicated on whether they make shots or not. Just because you excel in rebounding and stealing and passing as well doesn't mean your points don't matter.
Yeah. So I kind of want to start to transition into talking about what's going on with our big men, because I think a lot of the times, especially on defense, and I think it really happened with the Patty Mills 3, the dagger Christmas night, where Russ is focusing on getting the rebound that he kind of forgets about his assignment. So we see him just lost in space and kind of wandering and lollygagging. But in reality, I think he's thinking about too many things at once instead of just having like one assignment where it's clamp Patty Mills. Patty Mills was on fire. He had one of the best Christmas Day performances, just an absolute Christmas Day legend, forever ingrained. But if the one assignment is just to guard him, I think it's a lot easier for him to do that. He clamps him, who knows, at least gets a little bit of a better defensive effort on him instead of worrying about trying to go to the hoop for a miss and all this. And there's so many things going on in his head. And it's just focus on one thing because he's doing so many things. I think it's hurting him.
Right. And this sounds like something you would tell a rookie, right? Slow the game down, you know, don't try to do too much. The fact that we have to tell it to 33-year-old Russell Westbrook is a little concerning because he should know that his number one priority on that possession is to be always marking his assignment.
Yeah. So at the same time, though, I do understand why he's doing that because the Lakers don't have a true rebounder right now. There is no, well, it's kind of hard because we did have Dwight in and he barely played all in the second half, even though he had a plus 17. But I think it is very frustrating because somebody's going to have to get rebounds when they're on defense. And LeBron, even though he's listed as a 5, is not going to do it. Carmelo's listed as a 5. He's not going to do it. So I think that's where they're hurting him. So yeah, when you go with the small ball lineup, that's where it's going to suffer a lot, is what's going to happen for guys banging boards, cleaning the glass. And that's where I think Russ is starting to really put out some frustrating performances, is because of having to do so much because of what the Lakers roster is looking like.
But even being so, even with a small ball lineup out there, I would take my chances with Russ in Patty Mills' face, forcing a contested shot and then hoping it bounces our way, versus Russ leaving him wide open, because Patty Mills is a lethal shooter. We know if you leave him open, odds are it's going to go in. Whereas I would rather take my chances, have Russ close out, be in his face, and you never know. It could take a lucky bounce off the rim. It could be an air ball, but instead you leave him wide open. He's going to hit.
Yeah. So I do want to talk more about LeBron at the 5 right now and just playing with the small ball lineup. So the Lakers small ball lineup offensively is phenomenal. I think it's a big reason why LeBron has had this insane, was it 6 games in a row with 30 plus points, but where it's starting to suffer is on the defensive end. And I think one of the greatest, or I would say one of the greatest, but one of the most easily seen where it's hurt them is the John Claxton throw down on Braun, because that was the last line of defense, and LeBron just doesn't have any real experience playing the 5 to where, he's posted up so he could do things on the offensive side that have to do with being a center, but on the defensive side, he's never really had to do that. So as far as the instincts go, LeBron doesn't have those instincts to know how to be there a half second or a quarter of a second quicker, so he's able to put a body on Claxton.
Yeah, that dunk was pretty demoralizing. That's one of those plays where when you see it, you're like, oh, this game is over. Like, especially in the circumstance too. But yeah, I mean, he's never had the, like, of course it would be the Lakers, where we have to say LeBron is going into uncharted territory right now. Like, having to defend the 5 and having to start games, having to do the tip off to start games. Like, LeBron has never had to do this before. We're literally asking a 37-year-old player to do things he's never done before.
So that is the frustration. And I'm shocked that the Grizzlies weren't able to put up more points. Desmond Bane had a really awful day shooting, so that played a part. But then, I mean, let's be honest, God, they gave up 120 plus to the fucking Rockets. I mean, this is a team that is dead last in the Western Conference.
Yeah, the Rockets are horrible. That game should not have been as close as it was. And I mean, we were talking before the game, the line was only 6.5. Like, that's really a testament to how the Lakers have been. You should not be a 6.5 point favorite over the worst team in the NBA if you're the Lakers.
The worst. And it's worse, and it's so obvious why they're bad. So it's like we come off of a game against the Rockets where we score 132 points. And we're like, yes, oh my God, Lakers are back. Okay, maybe I'm projecting a little. I thought it was back to ring season, I'll be honest.
Okay, but you were Lakers are back. I am full on Lakers are done.
Yeah, no, I wanted to know what it was like. I wanted to know what it was like to have that feeling again.
I'll tell you what, I'll be Lakers are back when they win. No. I'm not going to give them a win streak. I'll be Lakers are back when they're 5 games above 500 or more.
Oh, come on. That's okay. But thing is, we could sneak into the playoffs around 500 or under 500.
Exactly. And so to me, Lakers are back means title contenders. Because to start the year, we were favorites to win the title. Whether we like it or not, we were. So I will say the Lakers are back and are title contenders when they're 5 games above 500.
Okay.
Until then, not gonna get my hopes up.
I've reached fucking mood, so my standards are very low. To where Lakers are back means we gotta win. We are back.
That's the more real fan. You're more of a real fan than me. If you're listening out there and you're a Laker fan, don't be like me. Be like Matt.
Because we're back in the win column.
There you go. Exactly. Be more like Matt. Don't be the Lakers are back when they win a game. Be that.
I'll be
that
honest,
kind of fan.
Dude, being a fan who overreacts to everything is so much more fun than being logical.
I'm like that with certain things. I'm like that with the Dodgers. But I don't know, like when it's so blatantly obvious how bad a team is, it's hard to be anything but like, oh, they have no hope.
This is very strange, but I like the Lakers back in 2018, 2019. Like, I think that was when I had my most fandom.
The
My
We
most
Believe Lakers with like Brandon Ingram and
yes, I don't know why. I loved losing with that team.
I did too, actually. That team was so much fun with Lonzo and Kuzma.
Mm-hmm. Because that's what happened. There was no expectations, so it was very exciting to be like, no, this is when you prove the league wrong.
Yeah, that team was a lot of fun.
Yeah, so I do want to key in a little bit more on the differences between LeBron at the 5 on defense and offense, because on offense yesterday he was in the post bulldozing David Nwaba and Kevin Porter Jr.
David Nwaba, old friend.
Yeah, he played like 20 games for the Lakers. Now, mind you, this guy has played 50 or more games in a season once, and he's been in the NBA since 2016. So this guy's not good. He has a below average defensive rating. And then Kevin Porter Jr. is notorious for being a bad defender. So that's what we're going to see is LeBron's going to put up these incredible games of offense, but I don't think it will translate to the other end. So you're going to have the media, at least from the bunch of the articles I read, prepping my notes for the game from like The Athletic and Silver Screen and Roll and Lakers Nation, everybody was so pumped about LeBron at the 5. But there's two sides of the game. What about when it comes to protecting the rim?
Yeah, it's like, sure, like offensively, yes, LeBron at the 5, the possibilities are endless because, you know, he's like Kobe. His post game is very underrated. He can get down low, he can back guys down, you know, and that draws double teams for kickouts and things like that. And the offense could really flow well with LeBron at the 5. And then when you switch to defense, and I know this hasn't happened yet, but he has to guard Jokic or Embiid or
kill me.
Exactly.
Kill me. Oh,
you know, God. Some of the better like even like tonight, Steven Adams. I don't know how much he guarded. I couldn't tell you how much he guarded Steven Adams tonight, but like when he goes against a big body on defense, he's going to get destroyed.
It's more so like Steven Adams is not going to do much on offense. They don't want him in the post. They're not going to have him getting 5 or more possessions per game where there's like, yeah, you will have to score for us like a Jokic or an Embiid. I will personally give myself COVID and then give it to Karl-Anthony Towns again, if that's what it means for him not to play on Sunday.
Well, I also mean like rebounding, like offensive rebounds. Oh, Steven Adams is a guy that's gonna out rebound LeBron like 9 times out of 10 on the offensive glass. If you know they're boxing each other out, because Steven Adams is a huge body. Like LeBron's a physical specimen, but you look at Steven Adams, he's huge. He's gonna be able to get through LeBron. And so yeah, like LeBron versus Cat is not something I'm looking forward to.
No. Oh God. Be very easy matchup.
That might be another. Didn't he put 35 on us last time? Something like that. I know Cat went crazy the last time he played us.
Yeah, that was very sad. That was like, oh my God, that was very recent too. So that was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was like, yeah, it was very recent.
That was when the tailspin began.
He put up 28, not 35. But yeah, that was since that game. The Lakers are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 1-6 since that game.
Yeah. So that's my frustration, is that we will only talk about LeBron achieving crazy things like reaching the 36,000 point milestone, because that was insane. That was incredible. So I have a fun little stat. So he's the youngest to reach every round number milestone in points. So it's 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, and so forth. So that's sweet. That's awesome. But defensively, We know how good LeBron is. We know how versatile he is. 2 years ago, he led the league in assists when he was playing the point. Oh, but now, not so much. He's not going to be that guy on defense. And I just want everybody to know that. That's honestly, if I had one last thing to say before I get the, oh my God, what is it called when they inject the something of death, the cocktail of death? Yeah, if I have one thing to say before I'm injected with the cocktail of death, LeBron is not going to be that guy on defense.
No, and I think LeBron, as far as defense goes, is a merchant of chase down blocks and like big time blocks.
Yeah.
Like he's not like a clamp one-on-one defender, Kawhi Leonard, Kobe, Paul George type of defender. He's never like, I'm never gonna say, okay, you have to guard their best offensive scorer. I'm never gonna like, if LeBron is stuck on him one-on-one, I'm not gonna be like, okay, well, he's gonna clamp him. I'm gonna be like, he's probably still gonna get his. If I need a chase down block, I'll be like, yeah, go LeBron. You're athletic. You can chase him down. So he's never gonna be that guy to lock down your team's best player.
Yeah. And it looks like we might have found that guy now. You know exactly who I'm talking about.
Stanley, man. Stanley's awesome. I love Stanley Johnson.
Yeah, he's been incredible. I loved what he did against Harden on Christmas Day. Held him to like 0-5 and was like a -11. So shout out Stanley Johnson for that. Probably
he's really
sorry,
no, I was just gonna say he's really like pause. He's really long and he's really like laterally quick. Like he moves around the floor. I don't know if you know, especially in defensive sets. Like I noticed on the Nets game, like at one point he was down in the corner and the next he was up at the top of the key closing out a shot. And I was like, whoa, how did he get there? So like, he's a specimen and he really puts in work. I have been really impressed with what I've seen from Stanley Johnson so far.
No, same here. He's long. He fills up holes really quickly.
Penetrates the defense.
Yeah. Not going to go. All right. We're cut off at 3. That's what she said jokes.
Okay.
That was our cutoff.
There we go. 3 per episode.
Yes, but he was incredible today. I was once today and the past couple of days, more so on Christmas, but he's a guy you could at least throw in the starting lineup. I mean, we saw him in the starting lineup against the Rockets, and he's not been great on offense, and his plus and minuses haven't been that great as well. Today, he ended up with a -18. But at this point, I feel like I'm watching at times a little league team where I just want to see some effort, and Stanley Johnson will at least give you effort.
Exactly.
I'm the guy not named West. Yeah.
To use our word, he's a janitor. He's going to dive into the stands and knock over some poor guy's $12 beer to save the ball. And he's going to, make really good switches, close out. He might go 1 for 8 on the offensive side of the ball, but he's putting in effort and you can see the effort.
And we saw him today with multiple little pickpockets. He loves to have his hand in the cookie jar, and it does cost him some fouls. This is what the team needs exactly.
Speaking of fouls, I was hoping I could bring up this stat because I hate when free throw stats are so glaringly obvious. The Lakers shot 8 free throws tonight. The Grizzlies shot 29.
It's because I just feel like the protection, I feel like that's more of a statement on the Grizzlies or Grizzlies offense and the Lakers offense. Because for the Grizzlies offense, I feel like it's so much easier for them to attack at the rim because there's no big down there. And I do think that if Dwight was in there for more than 16 minutes, then that would have made a huge difference, because I'm sick of seeing Melo at the 4 or at the 5. Because if Melo is not hitting from 3 like he was tonight, he was 1 of 8, then he's worthless. He's worthless on the team if he can't hit from 3. And if he goes 2 of 11 from the field, because he's not going to do enough on the other side to at least counterbalance that to where it's at least kind of in the middle. Yeah,
no, you're right. Having a big down low is is key in the foul department and the free throw department. So, Lakers kind of got screwed, but I don't know. I just think that's a fascinating stat. And I know Frank Vogel's been known to bring up the free throw stat in the past. So I wonder if Mr. Fizdale will bring that up.
Absolute moron. He's one of the just no self-awareness. There's a reason why the Knicks signed him to a 4-year deal to be their head coach, and they fired him after 22 games.
Was it because he was 4-18?
Yeah. This guy's a moron. So we're going to start wrapping up soon, but I just wanted to bring this up because I thought it was hilarious how dumb it was. So the other day he was saying the only way to fix the bench is to clone LeBron, which has given us another time. Yeah, that might be a little bit funnier, but not when you're in the midst of a 4-game losing streak. And he said at the time, and then he said he went with his gut to make the decision to have a small ball lineup since Ariza's out. No, you didn't go with your gut. You literally said that you had a meeting for hours with Frank Vogel and the rest of the assistant coaches. That's not going with your gut. Going with your gut is making it just a decision on a whim. A gut decision are usually dumb. It's like getting a tattoo when you're drunk.
It's not premeditated.
No, there's no thought before. It's a gut decision because you don't know what the hell to do. But something in your stomach says, do it.
Like me picking Washington football team +7.
Yes. A gut decisions are usually stupid. And it was a stupid decision for you.
Exactly. Gut decisions are not after you've had a meeting with all your coaches and then you decided to do something.
No, that was a brain decision. You use your brain. Use your fucking brain, you idiot.
Yeah. I mean, there's a reason he's failed as a head coach in the NBA. Besides the one year with the Grizzlies when he was the 3 seed, but they lost the first round. So yeah, there's a reason he's failed as a head coach in the NBA.
Mm-hmm. And then, so last thing I want to conclude with tonight, Ja was an absolute monster. I feel bad not throwing this in. Ja was, he was so goddamn good.
I fucking
so
love
good.
Him, dude. I fucking love Ja.
He had 41 and 10 tonight with 6 3-pointers, which is a career high.
Wasn't he 6 for 6? Or did he end up missing one?
He ended up missing one. Ended up at 6 for 7. Okay. But it's his third 40-point game, which is the most in the Grizzlies franchise history. Holy shit. And he's not even known for being a 3-point shooter like that. This is not a strong part of his game, but his bounce is he just levitates. I know that's the thing is that somewhat of a small market player. So he finally plays LA and I get to watch him in depth for the first time since like the playoffs or the play-in game last year. That guy floats and it's so fun to watch.
Yeah, I love Ja. Honestly, I've loved the Grizzlies ever since the Mike Conley teams with Zach Randolph, just because they instilled that kind of basketball that I really love, the grit and grind, toughness. And I feel like even now with new coaches, new players, they still kind of keep those wits about them, even though it's a different era. So, and Ja really fits that bill. He's a really gritty player. He's going to put 120% effort in every night. He's a star. Superstar. Sorry. He's a superstar. He's not just a star.
Yeah, he was a huge reason why they're able to come back down 83-70, 2 minutes left in the third. Do you have anything else?
No, I think that's it.
Yeah, very sad performance. I guess last thing. I'm so sick of these 10-day contracts. I want to send Darren.
What are they called? They're called like hardship deals or something, I think is what they're called, like 10-day hardship contracts. Yeah. Get all these guys out of here, man. I want the fun NBA back.
Yeah. I was like, fuck off, COVID, dude. You suck. COVID? Fuck you, COVID. I'm sick of this bullshit. I'm sick of it. I hate watching bowl games get hot take. I'm fucking sick of this bullshit. I hate looking at my phone in the morning. Oh, blank is in health and safety protocols. Oh, Holiday Bowl is canceled, even though UCLA probably could have played, even though they probably just opted out because they didn't want to see North Carolina State. I'm sick of it.
Hey, they would have won that game. I wanted to see DTR one more time, man. That makes me really sad.
No, it definitely wasn't an excuse for them to opt out. It was not. I'm on your side. It was not an excuse when they
No.
cleared everything out of their locker room before letting North Carolina State know. That was not an excuse. I'm on your side.
I guess we'll never know, as the great Kanye West once said.
Yeah. So last note, fuck you, COVID.
Agree. Hard agree.
Oh, all right. Yeah, so thank you guys tuning in for another sad episode of the Lakers. Okay.
One day
Takes.
we'll have a happy Laker pod. I promise.
If we record after a win, we'll have a happy Laker pod.
Have we ever recorded after a win? Yes, the Austin Reeves. Yeah.
And
but
then
anything else?
Also Hornets.
Yes. There we go.
Yeah.
Few and far between.
What was that? It's last week.
No, the Reeves one was 2 weeks ago.
Oh no, I was saying about the game against the Hornets.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no.
Yeah. All right. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you'd like to follow myself on Instagram and Twitter, you could find me at MattWarner20. If you'd like to follow Edward on his Instagram and Twitter, you can find him at Edward_Vento. If you'd like to follow OK Takes on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, find us at OK Takes Pod. That is OKAY Takes Pod. OKAY Takes Pod. It takes 2 seconds and will help us tremendously. And also make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can get the full video version of these episodes. All right. So thank you guys for tuning in and have a wonderful day.